There's always a conversation piece that comes to me, and it's through the lens of how women will always ask is, how do I know he's the one for me? How do I know he's the one that I should be talking to, I should be dating? I should really be sinking my teeth into what it is he brings to the table. Well, I'm going to address that here. And I'm talking to the ones that are wanting to not be a part of the hookup culture. They're actually looking to build something of substance long term, right? Because the hookup culture is really short term at the end of the day. But eventually, you're going to get out of that mindset, that frame, and really position yourself to what it is and where it is you want to go. So for me, when I think about that question, how women can figure out he's the one for me is by a lot of different scenarios. The biggest one that comes first and foremost is he aware? Right? Does he have a lot of self-awareness that he brings to the table? Is he self-aware with his natural surroundings? Is he self-aware with his work? Is he self-aware with his family, his friends? Is he self-aware with you? Is he asking the right questions, right? Is he actually asking the right questions to get to know who you are, right? What have you experienced in life? Because I think that when we have good communicators in our life, it could be a man, could be a woman. A lot of people don't necessarily have to meet you, but what they have to be able to bring to the table is intentional listening. So it's listening. The element of seeing what this man is really capable of. When he's asking you questions, are they thought-provoking questions to get you to open up? Do you feel safe around this individual? Does he make you look inward and say, hey, this guy actually brings something a little different that what my past relationships may have been missing, have been lacking? Communication is key. Communication can happen in so many different forms now. Now, it's not about the cat and mouse, because we know that that happens in any time of getting to know somebody. It happens. But in life, when you get to a certain age, the cat and mouse is not something that should necessarily be happening, right? Because, people want to play this thing of, you don't want to be too available for the person, make them work a little bit. Cool. But being open, being aware, recognizing. Because after you get to a certain stage in life, you don't have time to be kind of humming and hawing. Does this person like me? Is he just, or she's just, reaching out to me because it's something to do? Am I another notch on their belt? Am I another stat in the stat column? No. Communication. And heck, a lot of us, we work around hours of the clock. Some people are doing 40 hours, 50 hours, 60-hour weeks. But when we look at our $1,500 devices, the biggest conversation piece that we have to bring to the forefront is, are we using it to the best of its ability? We're all on our phones. But if we're cemented in work, there may be a couple hours that go by and we may not be able to have that communication. We may not be able to have that, dialogue. But when we do, we close the gap, we close the distance. Text messaging is a possibility. FaceTime is a possibility. Getting on the phone is a possibility. That's communication. Ladies, if you're doing one of those three things consecutively, consistently, and you don't see him really responding to it, that's where you got to get rid of it. Doesn't matter how busy he is. It doesn't matter how busy she is. If it's important enough to you, you get the job done. It also goes into, how does he make you feel when you're together? Now, that could be in many different ways. That could be going for a walk, right? That could be in intimate times, being in a house, four walls. Does he make you safe, right? What masculinity does he oppose and bring to the table? Myself, masculine man. Self-aware, self-cautious, but also too at the same time, not a exercising view of toxic masculinity. And there's a lot of these men that are out here. They have a toxic masculinity viewpoint. Women are this, women are that, you know. This is what you need to do if she's not responding to this. It comes across as toxic. But as a contrarian, you have to really be able to know how to multi-layer and really go through the mess of that. Does he make you safe? Is he doing things? Is he taking his time with you? Are you taking your time with him? Right? There's these little things in parables in relationship dynamics that we have to get back to the fundamentals and the basics. Don't really be looking to run down the rabbit's hole right away. Because everything you need to know about a person is through Q&A. And sometimes when you get a little bit older, the Q&As come a lot more direct, a lot more potent. Because a lot of people don't have time to waste. And I ask ladies this, are you going to waste time with somebody that's not checking in with you, not making time for you, you making time for them, but they're not making time for you? They're only showing up between the hours of 10 to 2. They're only showing up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They doing whatever they need to do and then they leave. They're not actually spending that genuine time with you. Does he oppose a lot of masculine traits? Is he a leader? Does he provision leadership? Or is he just somebody that's just there, in and out? He's aloof. He's not concrete with his plans. He's not concrete with his vision. If the person's not concrete in the things that is they're saying and they're doing, and you always have to question, there's your answer. Ask yourself is, what is it you want from that man? Or from that person you're dating in the opposite sex? Because there's a lot of different understanding pieces that are right in front of us. But I've also said is you can't be devoted and distracted at the same time. So it's for you to be able to understand and sift through is what's a distraction and what has the ability to be a devotion. Devote your time to the people that are self-aware, protecting, having the open communication, sharing the right dialogue, and actually checking into your mental well-being. Because that's how you will know. And that's how you'll get the ultimate reward at the end of the day. Ask that question. Sometimes be direct. Be up front. Say what it is you need to say. From the early stages, even in the middle stages, and however conversation is starting to look. Because you'll be surprised. You may be aligned on the same page, but you may be positioning and giving something that makes the person being very leery of how they want to direct and be open. If you got an open communicator in your life, cherish that. If you got somebody that's simply sitting here and they're really going through the ropes, through the roads, and they're doing what it is they say they're going to be do, cherish that. Because it's hard work finding some great, decent people out here that want to stick up and show up for who it is that you are. We need to start protecting each other a lot more often. And we need to keep continuing and doing the things that it says we're going to do. That's my time for the podcast. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, tell your family, and we out.